It's 500 lights. And it is green light. Go, go, go. We go racing here in the Netherlands. Reverse sprint coming down into turn one. Saab doing very well to get off the line there. AMS Randall into P2. Can he look for a manoeuvre going into that feisty turn one? Lots of side-by-sides occurring here, especially with the Kicksauber and the Ferrari there of both Raven West and Tharlo 4. Going on to the exit. Massive moment there between Tharlo and Raven West. Tharlo dipping into the wall, almost smacking a wheel off of his car. Very dangerous moment there between Raven West, the owner, and Tharlo 4. Could have gone treacherously wrong. Could have been detrimental to the beginning of this Grand Prix, the sprint race here. Dodo going into the right-hander here against Twizier. Twizier, I believe, on the outside, and the Haskar going into the wall there. That is more leader with a big moment. Here we go. Saab into P1. AMS Randall still into P2. XPG Callum and whatnot. Here's Twizier and something is side by side. That's the V-Cup there. Dodo making a big, big mistake going into the wall once more. Multiple moments very early on in the Netherlands sprint race here as Twizzy and Tharlo still going side by side through the treacherous turns here of the Netherlands. Going down the inside though is the V-Carb here of Liam Hiley. Can he stick the landing here against Jack? Around the outside, a bit on the grass, and he's almost in the wall. Massive moment once more. Big moments here in the sprint race so far. It's only lap one. Mental moments. And there's more to come as, of course, the V-Carb and the Haskar almost colliding as we go down towards turn one. Here we go, round the outside goes Deck here of XPG Callum. Can he stint the landing? Round the outside he's looking to go. Can he make it? No, we can't. But into the first turn we go, and it looks like Deck is going to go round the outside here of XPG Callum. Can he make it stick? The McLaren sending it round the outside, and he completes the manoeuvre. A fantastic manoeuvre there for the McLaren. He absolutely went for it. And Callum left in the dust, unfortunately for him. He's going to have to try and defend against Brian Evans now, and he can. They're going on to the exit here on Sector 1. Here we go, around the outside. Brian Evans is going to look to go here. Can there be 2 for 1 here for both of these drivers on Callum? The Aston Martin getting involved as well, but the Red Bull is going to go down the inside, going into the left-hander right now. And he does get the manoeuvre done on XPG Callum. It's unfortunate for him, but he loses 2 positions in 1 lap. And Avi Tyrell now looking for a manoeuvre on Milonski, sorry. And he does get the manoeuvre done and dusted. Twizier, Tharlo making a mistake. He's in the gravel. It's not looking good for the Saubers. Right before Callum losing 2 positions in 1 lap, and now Tharlo losing multiple positions in 1 turn by making a huge mistake, while Ransdell is in the pit lane. We're going to have to see. Did he? Oh, big moment there for Liam Hiley, sorry. Massive moment as he reaches on the track, and he's right ahead of Saab, who's going to kind of look for a manoeuvre. That might have actually messed him up, and it could drop him a couple of tenths. That could lead to Ransdell actually being ahead of the Red Bull. And he is not ahead of the Red Bull, sorry, mixed up, but the Red Bull is ahead of the Ferrari. But there we go, a bit of a moment there for somebody into Sector 2. That is going to be JJ. And very unfortunate for him as Avi Tyrell now comes into the pit lane. He's going to have to be miles behind Deck or Ransdell or Saab. Yes, he will be. But is Ransdell within a second of Saab? Yes, he is, after just overtaking Liam Hiley. Yes, 10 up for grabs in the sprint. Thank you very much. Right, here we go then. 10. We know what we're doing. Safety car's out. Look at the drivers don't know what they're doing because it's a safety car out on track. Sorry. So everybody around you is going to be slower. They don't have the same pace as when you typically box. And he's got a 10-second time penalty. He had his big moment, but it seems like just with a little mistake in speeding into the pit lane, it's gone away from him. When will Saab put the pedal to the metal or metal? I still don't know what the saying is, but here we go, around the last turn we go. And we get started here, back in the reverse sprint race here, in X Racing Series, going into the first turn. What is going to happen here? People are weaving to try and get more temperature in their tyres. It seems like the temperature is being a factor. Of course, if you get colder tyres in this race, it will mean that you go slower around the circuit. The warmer your tyres are, the better you will be. Sorry, Saab. Down the straight. Down the inside, the Twizy is going to look to go here with the Ferrari. Can he send it? Can he look for the move? There's a bit of contact going into the middle of the turn. And onto the exit, the Aston Martin is going to be speeding ahead here, using his ERS, trying his best to try and get the manoeuvre. He absolutely lunges it round the outside. And the Aston Martin does complete the move. He wanted it more than Ransdell, and he's got it. And it's allowed him to go through, as here's Twizier. Can he get close enough? He absolutely sends it down the inside, going into the left-hander. There's a tiny bit of contact, but that's an absolutely fantastic manoeuvre there for the Aston Martin. He even goes on the grass on the exit to ensure that he keeps the position. That is a fantastic dive bomb there. Every little helps, as they say, and that will not help Avi Tyrell. He's gone into the gravel. And he's in the last place here in this sprint race. Recover that as Totsuruti Saban and JJ going side by side here. Down the inside goes the Williams on the Alpine. Going into that left-hander. Big moment between the two of them. Contact made, and JJ now down into P18 himself. But who's got the guts to go ahead and grab it? Raven West down the inside, sorry, here. Brian Evans going into that final turn, going into the first turn. They're still side by side, going into that first turn. What is going to happen between the two of them? Going into that... Sorry, hold on. Sab is right behind him. Sorry. Raven West is down the inside. Poor commentating there. My apologies. Very bad commentating. But Raven West does get the manoeuvre on Brian Evans. But with a couple of turns left to go, is there going to be a massive moment? Is there going to be just that one crucial mistake to determine the victory in this race? Here we go. Round the last turn, though, it will be for Sab as he swoops round that left-hander, pushing the car through. He trudges along to take the win here in the sprint race. A fantastic drive from Sab. Of course, Ranster will be unfortunate, will be sad that he did not take the P1 himself. But it just goes to show how quick and smart that Red Bull is. Up into P1, he takes the 10 points, going into the big Grand Prix. Here we go, 5 red lights here in the wet Grand Prix. And it is green light, go, go, go. We go racing here in the Grand Prix. Going down into that first turn, Sab there into P1, getting off the line very well. Round the outside here goes Deck in P3. Can he get the manoeuvre here on AMS Randall? No, but it seems like he's just had too much gap on the inside. And Raven West will pull through for P3. It's a 1-2 between the Ferraris here in P2 and P3. Brian Evans up the round the outside there of Deck. Going into left-hander, big contact between him and Deck onto the exit. Could have been fatal if there was just a little bit more of a nudge. But here going into the left-hander, what's going to happen between here Tharlo and Morlida? Big moment between Jack and Tharlo, sorry. On the outside he went, onto the grass he went, and it could have been, of course, fatal once more between him and the Sauber. Here's Liam Hiley, though, going into this turn here. Brian Evans, he absolutely sends it here on Raven West. Can he complete the move on the Ferrari? The Ferrari will try and defend going into the left-hander. The Red Bull sticking it around the outside. Can he keep it, though? There's a limited amount of room on the outside for him. His nose is still within there. Going into the right-hander. Here we go. Up the inside goes the Red Bull. The Ferrari on the inside now. Still trying to defend. The grip is low, but there could have been a big contact. There was big contact there between both the Red Bull and the Ferrari, and it means the Ferrari of Raven West will actually dip down maybe 3 positions. Yes, he will. Liam Hiley coming through there for P5. Deck and Brian Evans now. It's your turn to go back and here down the very long straight here in Netherlands. Here we go, going down towards the first turn. Deck ahead of Brian Evans. Brian Evans sent it down the inside, and then we go just behind them. Round the outside goes Raven West here of Liam Hiley. Can he get the manoeuvre done and dusted here as we go into the left-hander? Now into the right, still the inside there is the V-car. There's a lot less grip for Raven West, and that shows there's almost contact between the two of them going into this left-hander. There is contact, there is big contact between them, slowing them down massively. It makes a move here for Callum. It opens up an opportunity for Callum, which he goes and takes. Now the Kick Sauber is just behind the V-carb. What can he do here? The XPG Callum, can he look for anything on that V-carb? I don't think he can right now. Crikey though, off the start here in this Grand Prix, in the wet Grand Prix. Big moments occurring, and that's another big moment. Deck making a big mistake. Liam Hiley will just absolutely slide through there as Deck, I think, maybe looked up or something. Making a big mistake there, the McLaren. And he goes ahead and drops down a couple of places, but now XPG Callum here defending against Raven West. Down the inside he will look to go. No. He stays behind Raven West as he completes the move up for P6. You're in luck because this man has shown some great pace so far throughout the weekend. And it shows more evidently here as Evie Tyrell going to go round the outside of more leader going into that first turn. Can he keep the grip, which is very hard to do here around Zandvoort in the wet? Yes, he can. The McLaren staying ahead of that Haas car. Tharlo now going for the overtake on Jack. They had a massive moment between the two of them. But they go side by side here, going into this right-hander. Around the outside, the Haas car will look to go. Now down the inside. Can he keep the position, or can Tharlo just complete it? Going around the outside on this turn here. Both of them losing grip, and I think Tharlo is just able to gain it. But Alonski here looking to try and recover that moment, that big hiccup there, as he's looking to go around the outside. A bit of a squeeze there from the Alpine, and he's drifting ahead of him. Crikey. Bit of an aggressive defensive move there from Ivy, but Malonsky is able to see through it. We will be having Tharlo, so around the outside is going to look to go here of the Haskell of more leader. He's climbing up the positions, isn't he, Tharlo? He's wasting no time in trying to get positions, and he does get that position done and dusted. Around the outside here, Malonsky's looking to go here of Dudu going into the right-hander, or Dodo. Sorry, I'm saying Dudu, it's just challenged, isn't it? My bad. But nevertheless, Dodo does keep the position there of P13, as Tuturutu Saban has overtaken Whiffle, because Whiffle has swiveled into the wall. And Twizzy overtaking here, more leader. Around the outside, he's going to look to go. More leader goes onto the grass. He slows down quite a lot. And it's going to make the move easy for Twizzy as he comes through, taking P11. And Tharlo down the inside is going to look to go with Avi Tyrell. Absolutely sending it. Avi Tyrell's going to look for a switchback manoeuvre. But he can't. And Tharlo 4 absolutely sending it there into a turn where you don't think he would. Doing decently well considering in the standings is around P6, I believe, if I just... P7 he is, as down the inside goes Avi Tyrell of Callum here, going into that first turn. The McLaren onto the exit, as he got the better exit of XPG Callum. It would dignify the overtake, but no, they're still going side by side here, into sector 1, going into this left-hander. Callum sending it down the inside. Can he keep his P8 away from Avi Tyrell? No, he can't. Avi Tyrell was able to stick the landing, get the manoeuvre completed around the outside. Just about now. Looks like Dodo now going down the around the outside. He's going to look to go off more leader here. Can he get the position onto the exit of that turn? Now to the left, now back over to the right. Big contact between the two of them. They still stay on the circuit. But it was close. It was very, very close to something big there. Big moment there into the last turn. And that is Liam Hiley. Unfortunately. Definitely no, not the hard yet. Much more entertaining battles occurring. As Ivy getting overtaken here by Milionski, going into this right-hander. Now into the left-hander, down the inside goes the Aston Martin. And I don't think the Alpine's able going to keep it around the outside, but the two Alpines going side by side here. Bit of contact there between Tutoru Saban and Ivy. Brian's going to have to double stack. True. I mean, that's why I'd go into the box now if I was him. And Deck and Raven West do, but Deck speeding 10 seconds into the pit lane, not something you want to see. It's going to be close. Oh, crikey. It can be side by side going onto the straight here. Here we go into the first turn. What's going to happen? I think they're ahead. I think the Ferrari's ahead of Saab. They're going to come out side by side. Never mind. It's a bit too close at the same time. Saab is going to be ahead of Ransdale. Going into the first turn, though, it's a 1.5 second gap between the top two. It's a big moment there. And that's going to be JJ off the track in the gravel. Coming back on track. I know that's a big moment here. Is that Tuturutu Saban? That's Ivy in the wall. Is that going to be a safety car? He's going to have to reverse. I don't know what's happening there. Going around. Is he good now? I think he's fine. Ivy's fine. Big moment there for Ivy. It's unfortunate for him. And Tharlo overtaking Deck here. Deck hits the decks, really. P6 now with a bit of a spin. And the Haskell. Oh my god. Jesus. And wow, look at that. Lapped. Brian Evans, though, coming very close to that Ferrari. More than close. He's side by side, going down the inside. Going into that first turn here. He doesn't have enough grip. He cannot stick the landing. And he has to stay behind Ransdale just for a little bit more. DRS enabled. ERS being used. And here comes Brian Evans. He's going to go side by side with the Ferrari. He's actually going to be slightly ahead. Going into turn 1. Down the inside, he will go for it. Round the outside, the Ferrari will still try to keep it. He's got the better grip. But going into the second turn here, he's still going to go down the inside. Now, round the outside goes Brian Evans on Ransdale. Ransdale, can he still keep it? He's still within a nose. It's a massive moment! That is a massive moment! A massive crash there between Ransdale and Brian Evans. They go side by side onto the exit. They lock tyres, and Brian Evans went into a wall, and he's now got wing damage. Unless Ransdale gets like a 10-second or something, and he's down into P6. But here we go. Here comes Twizzia right on XPG Callum as we go into that first turn. Down the inside, he sends it on him. We're going to take a look at Brian Evans' view. It just looks like there's a bit of slow pace in the middle of that corner there for Twizzia. And he can't get the manoeuvre done. But here comes Brian Evans. He saw an opening there on the inside. But nothing to come from it. And he's going to go down the inside into this right-hander right now. The Red Bull absolutely sending it. Like I said, he's going to be rampant. He's going to be wanting these overtakes. And he's just got it there on Twizzia. Morley, they're going to be close, though, to Twizzia. Twizzia going to be close to Callum. And if these two is going to provide us some entertainment, it's a big, big moment there for Callum on the exit of that turn. And it looks like the Aston Martin's going to peek through there for that P8. Callum using all of his ERS to make sure he does not get overtaken by the Haskar, but it's kind of inevitable as he goes round the outside here. The Haskar, can he get it to work? On the outside is a much more difficult move. Now we're on the outside again on the right-hander, and no, we cannot. Callum stays within it. A little bit of a switch back there for more leader. He's not going to switch him back, can he? No, he can't, unfortunately. ERS being used on the exit here, though. Is he going to look for a move onto these windy circuits here? Into the windy turns? I don't think he is, no. For the entirety of this race weekend, but Sab has just been able to beat him out more here, as can Callum beat out the Aston Martin up ahead as he defends round the outside. He absolutely sent it to Sauber, and he gets the move completed. It's a big lunge there from Callum. Right, so this moment, it's a moment here. Callum is in the wall. Callum is in the wall. Unbelievable. I think there might have been a collision between those two. We'll have to see after the Grand Prix if anything will be penalised because of that. But here we go. Here comes Jack right behind Navi Tyrell. Here we go. DRS being used. Jack going to look round the outside going into the first turn here. The Haskar absolutely lunging it. Can he get it? Can he stick it in round the outside? Fantastic manoeuvre there from Jack. Round the outside in turn one. And there you go, RTM English. Very entertaining move there from him. And he gets it cleared. Well done to him. Windy circuits here of the Netherlands, as there's a moment between Navi Tyrell and Jack going into the right-hander. Down the inside, Jack's going to go to try and defend the manoeuvre against Avi Tyrell, and he will. Avi Tyrell still sticking his nose in there, but not enough to warrant space. Never mind, he can grant the space himself like a wizard. Down the inside he goes, and Jack on the final lap, just behind, and Avi Tyrell prevails. But looking at these top spots, Sab with a fantastic performance, and around that last turn it is scintillating Sab to win the Dutch Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff from him throughout the entire race weekend. And AMS Ransdale going in second, Raven West third, but down the grid it's Jack versus Brian Evans now. Brian Evans down the inside into the left-hander. Can he go for it? Can Jack keep it though? Into the right-hander here, the Red Bull. Can he save himself a P6? Down the inside he goes, DRS being used by Jack. There's a massive moment between the two of them, could have caused great contact right across the line. It's a photo finish between them, which Brian Evans wins out, and what could have been a P5 for Jack is unfortunately just about a P7. Right behind him is his teammate, more leader in P8, Twizzia, Chucharu Saban, XP2 Callum after collisions having a disappointing P11, and Dodo P12, Deck 13, Ivy 14, of course, JJ, Milionsky and Liam Hiley, and Wiffle. Sorry, I've now got hiccups. Wiffle in P18.